Got it. Cool. Yeah, I mean, when you're going through trying to get a mortgage, I mean, it's very important that you get pre-approval, right? I mean, it's good because it can help you have a better understanding of your budget and knowing your buying power. Because I would imagine that's probably really good to know, right, Ashley? I mean, if you're going to look at homes, knowing what your budget is, I mean, beforehand, that can help you provide them with what they want to look at, right?
Yes, absolutely. And we always recommend that before we even start putting you on any type of home search or even looking at any properties that they get pre-approved.
Yeah, 100%. And it works great too because it will strengthen your offer. And so when you're going in, you're trying to put an offer in on a home, having that pre-approval letter with you just it can change the game because it can increase your chances of your offer being accepted. Not only that, it can increase your negotiating power, right? You have a stronger offer, you're knowing your buying power. And then the last thing that we typically see is it will increase or it will make the process faster and smoother because we've already gathered all the documents beforehand. See, when we do a pre-approval, we have to gather all the documents. We have to look at your credit. And so by the time you get under contract, the majority of the work is already done. So we just keep on moving along. And now we've just streamlined that process where it can be done, a whole lot quicker in that regards. And as far as like how to go about how to go about pre-approved. Actually, if when you would say the majority of homeowners, who do they call first when they want to buy a home?
Typically, their local real estate agent, or or they call a friend and ask them who they recommend as a real estate agent, and then as real estate agents, we set in a buyer appointment for them to come in, sit down. We talk about their needs and wants, educate them through the buying process so they know what to expect. And then the first step is calling the lender, calling
Yeah.
you, getting pre approved.
Yeah, 100%. And it's great. And that's why it's such a pleasure when I work with you is because you already kind of get them warmed up for what the process is going to look like. And then a lot of these documents that they need to gather, you kind of coach them on what they need to get. Because when you get pre-approved, it's really good about to gather some of these documents so you can have them, like your W-2s, your tax returns, bank statements. If you're self-employed, it can be a whole lot more. If you've gone through a divorce, it could be some other documents as well. But that's why it's so good. Like if you have a real estate agent that really knows some of the things that you need to do, because the majority of buyers will call a realtor first, and that's just the name of the game. And so working with a realtor, working with a partner like yourself that can coach them through that. By the time I talk to them, they kind of already know some of the things they need. Um, so yeah, so that definitely helps. But finding a local mortgage professional would be like your next step on to get pre-approved as you need to talk with the lender. So typically you're going to call your real estate agent first. They're going to tell you, kind of coach you through what you need to do. Then they're going to tell you, hey, you need to speak with the lender. A lot of realtors will have lender partners that they'll refer you to, which is great, because they work together. You'll complete a pre-approval application. So you'll fill out all the necessary documents. Everything nowadays is all online. You can do it over your phone. It's very easy to do, and you can upload all the documents from your phone because the majority of us have everything on our phone already. And then after we do that and we review your credit, you'll receive a pre-approval letter. And then once we receive the pre-approval letter, at that point, I will go back to the realtor where we can start going searching for homes,
Mhm.
and which is very important because at that point, uh, your guide to the transaction then fully takes over and starts showing you, all the homes and everything you need, right? So, I mean, actually, walk us a little bit through, what happens and how you guide people through the home buying journey.
Yeah, so I guide them by making sure that we first get pre-approved, so we know what your buying power is, and then we have already sat down with them to kind of discuss what their needs and wants are next. So I will put them on a home search portal to show them all the houses that are available and currently active on the market that fit their budget, that they're comfortable with, along with their needs and wants. And then once we get that executed contract, we start working really close with our lenders and title company as far as making sure that earnest money's getting in place, option, inspections, appraisals are being ordered, title work, all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say? Because I know the list is long, right?
Yeah.
But what would you say some of the core responsibilities of a real estate agent is?
Just making sure that, we're meeting contract deadlines. I mean,
Mhm.
that's huge because if we're not meeting contract deadlines, buyers can lose their option money, their earnest money, lose out on their inspection money, lose out on appraisal money. So we need to make sure as agents we keep to that timeline that we
Mhm.
all agree to on the contract. So the buyer's
Right.
protected.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you're in guiding them through this journey as a real estate agent. I mean, you really help. In the very beginning, you help them determine their needs and their priorities and what they want when they're going to try to purchase a home too, right? And you facilitate whatever home they want to look at. I mean, you facilitate going and look at all those homes with them and kind of pointing out some of the things that could hinder them getting buying that home because something that may be wrong with it or something like that. I mean, do you deal with a lot of that?
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
we that's handled in our option period, also known
Mm.
as due diligence process with the option period. That's one of the things that we have to make sure as agents that we have everything negotiated during that option period so the buyer's, earnest money is protected.
Right. What would you say? What would you say the best way to go about trying to find a realtor in the area? So, say I want to buy a home. So, what should I do if I'm trying to locate a realtor to help me buy a home?
So just making sure that the realtor is locally based,
Hmm.
they have years of experience. They might not have years of experience, but just making sure that they know the area that you're looking in. They have knowledge of what's going on, what's happening, new upcoming businesses, whether toll roads, anything. Right? You want to make sure that
Right.
they know what's going on in the area, making sure that they're reputable,
Right.
and then making sure that, and most importantly, being active, right? Um, there's a lot of agents, and a lot of them are not active all day, every day in the market. There's some that, do it on the weekends or do it at night. And so it's very
Sure.
important to make sure that you know how active the person that you hire is, um, in the market.
100%. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people that may do it on the side. I mean, I have no problem with people trying to, hustle out there and try to get everything done. I mean, there's been realtors that I've worked with that has done this on the side that have done a fantastic job. Like I wouldn't have even known that they would have had another job because their communication skills were so great. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that's some really good information, on how to find your real estate partner in this transaction. Because really when you're trying to buy a home, you're basically building a team around you, right? I mean, that's what's really important. Throughout this process, you're going to have a realtor, you're going to have a lender, you need to hire an inspector, right? There's maybe some home warranty in there that you may need to know somebody. There's going to be a title. Depending on the type of transaction you're having, you may have an attorney, a real estate attorney. And so really what we're doing is we're building this team to help, these clients through this transaction. And which brings me to, another point, is the power of collaboration. And so when you have partners, lender and realtor, and you may have some of these other partners that fall within this collaboration, it enhances the home buying experience, right? I mean, when you what do you think the differences would be, or like, what differences have you seen when you've worked with somebody who you may not partner with, right? If somebody comes in, they're already pre-approved through their bank. What are like the big differences that you see versus working with a lender that you partner with?
Uh, there's so many things, right?
Yeah.
So you have like just the overall communication of the
Hmm.
process, right? You know that when I'm working with you, Nick, I know that you pick up the phone and you call me back. I don't have to wait 3 days or 4 days to get a response. So the communication is a huge part of working with someone that you have that relationship with, right? Like
Right.
me and you work in the office. We know that, hey, I can go down to your office, you can come down to my office, and we know what's going on and what, and especially like if you're thinking outside the box, right? Like if we have
Sure.
a difficult client and we know that it is very, very tight, we need to make
Mm.
sure that the people that we're working with are able to get outside the box and be creative with their financing so the buyers can get inside their dream home.
Yeah, 100%. And that's, it's where, it kind of goes into that better problem solving, right? I mean, we already work together. We that line of communication's open. So like some of these challenges that may come up within this transaction, we kind of already know how each other works. And we're really good at bouncing ideas off each other. So it's a whole lot better than probably calling a 1-800 number and not being
Yes.
able to get a hold of somebody on the weekends or something like that. Yeah, so I feel like that is really good when you have a team behind you that you can that are already collaborating. They already have a great working history. So when you're trying to purchase a home, I just feel like that's kind of like that white glove service at that point.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's all about
100%.
the relationships.
Yep, yep, I completely agree. Sweet. I think that was good. What do you think?